Welcome to a nutty adventure exploring personal growth and wellness, breaking down the stigma around mental health along the way. Let's dive in because now it's time to show me your nuts.
Good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. It's gonna be a different one today. August's theme, as you may know, is resilience. So, resilient souls that are here with me today. Last week we learned that procrastination is protection. And today we're going to celebrate how that protection in that procrastination helps us bounce forward in our life. That is how resilience helps us bounce forward. And one of the things we're going to do and you know is and please excuse me, speaking of resilience, I'm going to have to say this. Less than 10 minutes ago, I just got some news that I'd been expecting, but not wanting to hear, of a relative who stopped procrastinating their next move and let their resilience go so that they could go over to that other side. So I'm kind of processing that while I'm doing the show. And processing it in the realm of resilience. Because this person was definitely a resilient soul and had lots of laughter, but also just grounded resilience. And so if I'm a little discombobulated today, that may be why. I'm kind of soaking in the new information that I just got. So today I want to talk about from mindful transformation to hilarious procrastination wins. Today's about your stories. And so I'm hoping that you guys help me out here as an audience and give me some things to bring to the stage. In fact, I might even bring people to the stage. So let's do our energy check, which has become a kind of a staple here. This week's energy check is, how are you bouncing today? Are you bouncing like a rubber ball? Or are you bouncing like a rocket ship? And I think I'm going to say I'm bouncing like a rubber ball today. That's definitely my take on things. So good morning, Ollie. And I know it says there's 2 people watching, so I'd love to, anybody who's here, put things in the comments. Tell me how you are bouncing today. Are you bouncing like a rubber ball? Or are you bouncing like a rocket ship? There's 3 people. Everybody's getting here slow this morning, and that's all right. That's kind of how I'm taking the morning as well at the moment. Not the best energy, but keep bouncing, right? That's how it's you are resilient if you keep bouncing, even if you're bouncing really, really slow. Yes, slowly bouncing. Partly because it's morning, right? It's this get up and get out of bed thing, and the covers feel so yummy, and don't want to do that. Don't want to do anything else. Um, so yeah, today's a kind of a rough one for me. Partly that, what I had happen, and partly the plan I had was to celebrate you guys as an audience and some stories, and I don't have any stories from you guys to share. So I think, the best laid plans of mice and men. Um, Resilience is when you can be flexible among change. When you can stand your ground and be where you need to be, but also be flexible amongst the change that comes at you. I think that's one way to be resilient. Ollie, definitely if you have a story, you said you needed to get your coffee though. So what I'm going to do is, while everybody's kind of getting themselves ready to tell stories, I am going to actually play a guided meditation that I pre-recorded for today's show, which is somewhat I can't even say words today. It's a good thing that I pre-recorded that, because it'll give me a little bit to get my thoughts back together as well. This is a guided meditation on procrastination to progress. So if you're watching on the live, use this time to come up with your stories and tell me what your procrastination to progress story is. If you're watching on the replay, do the same thing, but leave me your story in the comments so that I can highlight you in the future. So let's transform any lingering procrastination shame towards forward momentum. Because sometimes procrastination gives us the negative gift of shame. And let's transform that into progress and bouncing forward. Here we go. Welcome to the Procrastination to Progress meditation. Let's transform any lingering procrastination shame into forward momentum through this guided journey. Welcome to this moment of transformation, my brave squirrels. I'm your Squirrel Wrangler, and today we are releasing procrastination shame and embracing a resilient bounce forward. First, find a comfortable position. Let your shoulders soften, and when you're ready, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Then, take 3 deep breaths with me. Breathing in compassion and breathing out judgment. Again, breathing in understanding, breathing out shame. And one more, breathing in possibilities and breathing out old stories. Now bring to mind something you've been procrastinating on. Notice how your body responds. Tension, heaviness, resistance. Just notice without judgment. Place your hand on your heart and remember, this procrastination has been trying to protect you. It's not laziness. It's not weakness. It's your nervous system saying, I need safety first. Whisper to that protective part, thank you for trying to keep me safe. I see you. I honor you. Now, imagine yourself 1 week from now, having taken one small step forward. Not perfect action, just movement. See yourself there. How does it feel? What has shifted? Notice this future you are looking at isn't looking back at you with regret. They're looking back with compassion, knowing that every pause was preparing you for this forward bounce. Now, take another deep breath and imagine golden light filling your body. This is your resilience, your ability to bounce forward, not backward. Let it go brighter with each breath. And when you're ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath and gently open your eyes. Remember, you're not behind. You're not broken. You're exactly where you need to be, ready to bounce forward into your next chapter. Thank you for joining me on this journey from procrastination to progress. As squirrels, we know that the value of one small step forward, and today you've made just that step. Carry this resilience with you and embrace the transformation you've begun. Be kind to yourself and remember that every pause is a preparation for your future bounce. If you've enjoyed this meditation, please subscribe to my Substack at squirrelwrangler.substack.com for more mindful meditations, and share your progress in the comments below. I can't wait to embark on our next adventure together. Until next time, keep bouncing forward. All right, is everybody awake? Or did I put everybody to sleep? Let me get back to the comments and see. Those of you who are still here, let's look at sharing your stories. So I'm going to pull up a studio guest pass and hope that my logo is not covering that up. We'll uncover that for a minute. Anybody who would like to come into the studio, make sure you catch that link. And that gets you to the actual Show Me Your Nuts studio where we're sitting. To come in and talk about your procrastination story. So if you have a procrastination story, go ahead and let me know in the comments, and I see a comment from Ollie is, can you keep it for later? And I'm wondering what the comment, what you mean, or, oh, the, if you're wanting to come in to the studio, I can send that to you in a different way, Ollie. Let me get to that. I'll see if I can I don't think okay. So I'm going to hang out a little bit today for anybody who wants to let me know their stories in the comments, or come into the studio to share their story, your funniest procrastination win is what I'm kind of looking for. Is this a short story that's a funny procrastination win? And I'm gonna also kind of go down a little, follow the squirrels here. Have you ever had a procrastination win that happened because you were not working on a project, not doing something you needed to do, not doing something you needed to do, and then all of a sudden you do 10 other things, and you finally do finish the thing that you've been procrastinating, and actually there's no way it would have ever turned out as good as it did had you not waited? Now, note the difference in the words there, procrastination versus waiting. And socially, we demonize procrastination as a negative thing, but it's okay to wait to do something. And it comes back to what other people's perception of what the importance of what we're doing. If they think it's super important for you to get it done, then you're procrastinating. If they don't have any stake in the matter, then waiting, they may not even see that you're waiting. It may be invisible waiting. So procrastination comes down to figuring out whether you're waiting to do something or whether you're procrastinating, whether it's a negative perception. Sabine, you've got it perfect. It's not really procrastinating, but it's waiting for the right time. And that reminds me actually of a concept in the Native community and Native philosophy. I'm not sure if procrastination exists now that I think about it, because for us, there's a concept in that worldview that we jokingly call Indian time. And it's not really joking in some regards, because it's things happen when they're supposed to happen. So if things happen when they're supposed to happen, and that doesn't mean late, by the way. People get that mixed up. They think Indian time or island time or black time, which have similarities. They think that means that you're always late. And it doesn't, because it means that when the thing is supposed to happen, that's when it happens. And sometimes that's before somebody expects it to happen. Sometimes it's after they expect it to happen. And therefore they're saying it's late, but really it's happening when it's supposed to happen. And I think when you look at through the lens of that worldview, procrastination isn't even possible. And waiting for the right time or knowing the right time is one of the things that that causes it to happen when it's supposed to happen. And we've got Ollie here, and I see you there, Ollie. Give me 2 seconds here. When I am on the I'm not sure. Looks like I'm being trolled on Twitch. That's not appropriate, and I'm going to remove you from the I'm going to remove you as a viewer, the person who just typed the spam. But let's talk about other stories of procrastination wins. So Sabine, I see your story and I'd love to hear it also. If you see the link, feel free to and you want to, feel free to click in the link of, you waited to send your father an angry message because you didn't know how to interpret his message or understand what he was saying, I guess, whether you were invited or not to his birthday party. And it turns out you were invited, and it's a good thing you didn't answer in an angry way straight away. Oh my gosh. That is procrastination perfection is what I'm going to call that. We got a new hashtag, procrastination perfection. Is the idea, I think, procrastination perfection in the fact that if you've ever gotten a message from somebody and you're not sure how to take it or what to do with it, spinning around a really quick answer that is out of anger, out of fear, out of shame, out of guilt, out of anything, any immediate feeling, can actually muddy the waters even more. And if you wait, notice I didn't say procrastinate. If you wait and let yourself breathe, maybe even use the procrastination meditation that we had to give yourself a few minutes, your answer is going to be different. And it's possible that the situation changes before you even answer. So I love that story. I love that story. So now, welcome to the stage, our unscheduled but very welcomed guest, coming to you from Belgium, I believe, if that's where he's at today, and with a story. So I am going to play I'm going to play my little welcome guest thing here first. Welcome to the stage, Ollie. Ollie, go ahead. You could introduce yourself to people. I know who you are, but our viewers might not.
I'm crazy not to be here. Can you hear me well?
You are coming in loud and clear.
Super. So I am from Belgium, as you said. I am a language igniter, and you notice probably my play that is not really visible, but igniter. I replaced igniter by igniter, so that it's in your nutty vibes. Yeah. So I'm a pancake baker. I love to connect with people, human beings, with words, with languages, and learning new words in, by instance, Podawaromi, for instance, if I pronounce well the name of the language, or Chamorro, or any language like Tagalog, any language in the world, I'm passionate. So I might reply to your question, but I want to be sure of your question. So feel free to ask me your question.
The question is a story that is a procrastination win. So similar to Sabine's story that Sabine posted over on LinkedIn about not being sure if they were invited to their dad's birthday party or not, and wasn't sure how to interpret the message from him. And Sabine waited to answer, and it was instead of answering in an angry way, waited to answer, and then there.
Thank you. That's a good story. So I have a similar story, and I'm going to talk about some personal things. So spoiler alert. My dad is on health difficulties and challenges since already early July. And he was in the hospital, and then he's now in a place for revalidation. And it was longer than he was expecting. He was expecting already to be out in his place, in his home last week, but it's not the case. And so he was asking me because as I'm his best assistant, secretary, you name it, accountant, whatever, to make his financial stuff, because he doesn't use tech. And he was asking me to contact. So I called that, it was on last week on Thursday, I think. I was seeing him on Thursday, I think. And he asked me to call the hospital because he wasn't sure that he could honor the appointment that the hospital gave 3 to 4 weeks ago, on the 26th. And I was going this week to call the hospital to see, okay, could you make a new appointment, or I don't know, because the window was really short. And I was not doing it until now. And a few hours ago, I received a call from my dad that told me that finally he has an emergent appointment in the hospital this Friday. Cross fingers that all will be fine, because his health sounds like not recovering. So So I'm really praying and crossing my fingers that he's going to be well. But it means that I don't have to call the hospital to postpone the appointment because it was managed by from. So it's
So you waited.
not good. Yeah, I waited. I was probably going to do it anyway today or tomorrow, but today I got the news that finally the appointment was fixed on the 22nd, more urgently. So it's not a good or a bad thing. It's just like it is a case of procrastination for me, and that's it. That's the best example. That is the most recent that I have to tell.
That's I was going to say it's a great example, but it's also challenging given the nature of what's going on. It sounds like he's, they may have moved the appointment more urgent because of his health, and you have my feelings and things. I know you have a lot of people thinking of you and he for that. And with the news that I got this morning about my relative, the ending side of our life is fresh in my head. I don't. Thankfully, it sounds like your dad's he's got some health issues, but it's not the ending side of his.
No, I truly
That's a
believe
blessing.
not. I believe it's not, but I think if they did this decision is because it was not as smoothly recovery. So and not in fact they didn't procrastinate. Like probably my dad was probably, and I assume it's my perceptions, but I assume that my dad procrastinated to take care about his health. Because already mid-June or end of June, it was not easy. So
that brings up a good discussion point. I think we need to, that's in our society. We're, especially over, here in the States and Western in this hemisphere, especially is it's go, 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 do, and not always take care of self. And we procrastinate our health. And that does not give us very good physical resilience in life. And so I think that's one of those areas where procrastinating can actually cause you significant harm. And so I think knowing when to catch yourself, oh, I'm waiting to do this, I'm waiting to do this, I'm waiting to do this about your health can turn into your health getting really bad really fast, or major health issues that you might not have had you not taken care of it. And I think that brings up discernment for what is something I can wait on. It's okay to wait. I'm not procrastinating, I'm waiting, but what's something also that is important to not wait about? And our health, I think because society says, oh, well, you need to be at work, you need to be productive, you need to be doing, and we don't always remember to take care of our health that way. And that causes us, frequently causes us more health issues than we would have had. So I think that brings up a really important point of when something is procrastination that can bring us pain.
Yeah. The good thing is that our body is not procrastinating when it comes to warn us about the messages. The real question, are we listening to our body signals?
Ollie with the mic drop, you guys. Ollie with the mic drop is are we listening to our body? I think
and I pledge guilty. I pledge guilty also.
Oh,
because sometimes
I'll pledge
it
guilty
happens to
straight
me.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody think about when sometime that you have waited and your body's talking to you and you're not listening, or on the other side, let's keep up also maybe the funny ones and see if there's any other funny in the thing. I'm going to actually I'm probably going to play a commercial and then we're going to go to a the the words are not coming to me today, you guys. It's a good thing this show's live, and it's even better that people in the audience know who some people in the audience know who I am. Keep your stories coming through. And Ollie, I want to thank you for coming on stage and telling your story, especially as personal as it is. At first I was going to take a break, but then I think I want to make sure and thank you properly, because telling stories that are that close to our heart when they're raw and real and happening takes resilience. And that shows me that underneath the things you've got going on, what's keeping you awake, waking up each day, and what's keeping you going each day is likely a certain amount of resilience.
We need to be comfortable when we share our stories, but it's a good example also for others. It's live right now, but I have an amazing sweatshirt that says that I am a remarkable leader.
Certainly.
And
I know that to be true as well.
Yeah, we can do it for ourselves, and that will inspire others to do the same. So it's about modeling for ourselves, not asking others, oh, you should do this, you should do that, but to just embrace that ourselves, and then to inspire others, not by saying da, but by doing it ourselves. And then others might choose or not, but yeah.
Well, and that's so true and so important to be the modeling for ourselves and for others. One of the things I think that's important when we model for ourselves is we're practicing. We can also give ourselves permission to practice, right? So of practicing, not practicing keeping ourselves in, not shaming ourselves for things, practicing having grace with ourselves, practicing joy with progress. And we're getting more viewers. I am so excited. I'd love to know who's in that audience up there. It says there's 5 people watching, and I'd love to see who else is watching. I think leadership requires resilience, and leadership of self requires resilience and introspection. And that introspection then can give us lessons that we then can take out and show the rest of the world how we do it. One of my favorite quotes about action, showing people, is by Jane Addams, Addams. She was one of the grandmothers. I call them the grandmothers, and one of the beginning of one of my professions of social work. And she helped start the settlement house movement in Chicago. So there was a settlement house movement in Europe, but then she saw that in the UK, I think, in London, and then brought it over, that whole idea. And the settlement house movement were places where people of immigrant status to learn the language, to gain skills, to find work, to find support, social support. And that quote of hers is, action is indeed the sole medium of expression of ethics. So if your ethics being your values and ethics being the things that you believe in, action shows whether you're actually leading with those ethics or not. And I know one thing I know about you, Ollie, is that you lead by that example of being resilient, of being kind, of being thoughtful. And people, if you want a list of puns with words on the fly, if you need an MC that will bring you puns with words, Ollie's your person for sure, because he is the fastest pun typer in, not even in his own language, but he can type puns in English that are hilarious, faster than most people can think of any of them.
And I can share a quick story, less than a minute. I was in a conference, a virtual conference, and I was dropping some pun gems. And one of my puns was, "It's never too late. It's just chocolate."
It's just chocolate. Because...
And thanks for that, I received a goodie bag. And this t-shirt, this sweatshirt is part of this goodie bag.
Is part of the goodie bag. Oh my gosh, see, full circle. And, you know, the other thing I know about Ollie is that chocolate is life for Ollie. One of his favorite things in the world is chocolate. And of course, being in Belgium, you've got good chocolate. I mean, you know.
Yes, but since 2 years, I was always thinking since more than a year that Belgium is the best country of chocolate. But since a friend of mine came last year from Trinidad and Tobago, she offered me through 99% of chocolate from Trinidad. And since then, I say, no, it's not Belgium, it's Trinidad.
Oh, the country of chocolate. I may have to check out some Trinidadian
because we export. We don't grow cacao. We just export from various points of the world.
So if you want the best chocolate, apparently it's 99% from Trinidad. So
yes.
Ollie, thank you so much for your resilience, your leadership, and your bravery to just jump in today in the seat and be here with us. I really appreciate that. And
keep shining.
I appreciate you.
Me too.
Thank you for, I'm going to play a commercial to take us partway out. Then I'm going to be back and tell a little bit about next week. And we will see you, Ollie, I'll see you in the Go Brunches. And those of you who don't know what the Go Brunches are, look at gobrunch.com. Oh, if you want laughter, have Ollie around you guys. It will always be that way.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
And thank you guys. I just want to respond to some comments. Sabine, this room looks a lot like one of my Go Brunch rooms. In fact, it looks exactly like one of my Go Brunch rooms, but it's actually not in Go Brunch. It's the studio is actually in StreamYard. So but Sabine, message me because I would love to have you on the show specifically sometime. So send me a message and let's chat about that, because I'd love to have you come on over here and come on the show, and we can talk about all sorts of things that way, fun, nutty things. I appreciate those of you who've been in the comments today, and I appreciate Ollie for having been here in the chat and coming and bravely coming on stage and joining me with a fun but serious, I'm going to say a serious procrastination story. But also talking about how leadership is how we can lead by example. I think that was great. So I want to, wrap us back up about procrastination, is that procrastination can be reframed with compassion. And resilience means bouncing forward in our life, not bouncing backward. Sometimes delays can create unexpected opportunities. I think Sabine's story highlights that dramatically, is the delay of voicing anger gave her the opportunity to not have a roadblock between she and Dad about the birthday party. And so the delay created an unexpected opportunity of additional connection. And then also that laughter heals shame. So on that note, I'm going to leave us on that note of laughter healing shame. And going to talk briefly. Let me try and find my notes here, because I actually had a note that I wanted to make sure and bring up. Next week, we are going to talk about resilience mastery with special tools and techniques. And next Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern, we're also going to have a workshop in Go Brunch, actually. And you can find that workshop at stacybraiuca.com/events. I will put the event calendar. Hopefully I'll find my event calendar here and put it up on the screen. Well, maybe I will. Well, I'm going to put it up in the comments then. So I'm going to put that up in the comments, and stacybraiuca.com/events. You will find next week's workshop. You will find next week's show. You will find coffee for this Thursday. You'll find all sorts of fun things on that calendar. You'll find things on that calendar from the Breakthrough Show Network and from myself, from Stacy Braiuca, myself, and come join me. Come hang out in our coffee on Thursday. Come to the workshop next week. We're going to talk a little more about, we're going to talk about resilience, kind of wrap up Resilience Month with a second workshop. And I think that brings us to the end of the show. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through today's show, you guys. So thank you for helping me with my resilience today. I really appreciate it. So your timing is absolutely perfect. Your bounce is beautiful. And your nuts are showing. And we love that. See you next week.
Thank you for joining us on this nutty adventure. Remember, personal growth and wellness are journeys best taken together. Keep exploring, keep growing, and don't forget to show me your nuts next time.